You know, it never really occurs to me until Thursday nights how badly I actually need a third monitor. What's up, Andy? How you doing, buddy? Patrick McCabe, Mark McKeever. How you guys doing this evening? Got Caleb joining us in just a few moments here. He had to reboot at the last moment, so he's about to be joining us on the line. Technology permitting. I'm not sure what the weather over there in Colorado is looking like today, but if the last week is any indication, it's fucking cold. Oh, what's up, Nick? How you doing, man? So it was a pretty sparse news week as I was looking through, everywhere. Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, other ones. I went on to Huffington Post for weird news. I went all over the place looking for shit to talk about. There wasn't a lot. We finally put together some stuff at this point, but that's mostly thanks to you guys. That's mostly thanks to the Patreon supporters who really and truly, you guys fucking put the show together this week. So really appreciate that. I'm drinking sweet tea. I'm getting back to my southern roots, and it's delicious. When I say sweet tea, it's like you could put it on a fucking pancake sweet. So how's everybody doing? I hope your week has been good so far up to this point. No, it's coming close to the end now, but looks like Nick forgot that Falcon and Winter Soldier were dropping tomorrow because of all the Snyder Cut hype this week. Yeah. I feel like I should have already watched the Snyder Cut if I'm being honest. A lot of like the real critics, they screened it a couple days ago. I could have woke up first thing this morning and watched a 4-hour movie, but I had to be at work at 8 a.m. So I had to get up at like 2:30 to get to work on time. And I'm not that dedicated to anything. Speaking of which, we're going to talk about the Oscars here in just a little bit. That's something that's happening. I'd rather talk about the Grammys this year, if I'm being honest. I'm more familiar with the bullshit pop music that they were highlighting on the Grammys than I am familiar with any of the movies that are nominated this year. But we'll talk a little bit about it generally here after a little bit. Let's see, Random Andy's channel. Have yet to watch Snyder Cut because, to be honest, I don't care. But I'm hyped for Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's fair. Very fair. Got a little something in my throat. You guys forgive me. It's the caffeine. Jay Wolfie in the chat. Brad Fedek, what's up, man? Oh, back to work. Back to work with you. So don't worry, we're not going to be giving away any spoilers for the Snyder Cut. However, if you do want to be a part of a massive conversation about the film and you've had a chance to see it by 10 a.m. Central Time on Saturday, which is the 20th, me and Caleb are going to be diving deep. We're going to be discussing every last little morsel, tidbit of information that you could possibly want to hear about. And to be honest, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So if you do get a chance to check it out, come over, check out a bonus episode of the Movies Are Terrible Live podcast where me and Caleb are going to be discussing it in full detail. Any idea when y'all are going to watch it with the gang? I got an idea, but I don't think I can ever break those eggs. Is that the expression? So anyways, you guys know the deal. You know how this works over here. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been watching in the last week. Then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the week's weird news headlines before we jump into a couple Florida Man topics. And it sounds like, if we listen carefully, we can hear a co-host off in the distance.
If we're lucky, because I had no idea. Apparently, my mic just phantom muted in my settings.
Oh, tight. That's cool.
So, yeah, and I had to YouTube how to do it because I didn't even know this was a thing.
Let me see if I can't get your... I don't want to see two of me. Let's see here.
No one does.
No, thank you. Thank you for clearing that up for me. I was not really sure if they did or not, but now... Where are you at? Is your camera on?
Yeah. My camera is on. I can see me.
There he is.
It took a while, but I'm there after all the troubleshooting.
You're looking luminous today, bro. You got a good skincare routine going on? What's up?
I got sunburned a little bit because I was out snow plowing.
Yeah.
With all that white, it just reflects back at you.
Sure. So, how's the weather?
It's great now. I mean, it's sunny, really, really sunny right now. I mean, if you can hear, I'll use my thing so that people can see. It's very sunny.
Oh, wow. Sunny, snowy.
Yeah, it's sunny and snowy.
So our dear friend Patrick McKeever on the Patreon asked if you have any good war stories for the past week.
So yeah, I actually do. So, well, they're not mine because I work from home and I'm a lazy bum, so I
Yes.
don't have to leave my house. But my wife works in a hospital, so she went to work Saturday, and we were like, and she got home Saturday night, and we're like, yeah, it's snowing, but it's not too bad. And then she went Sunday morning. She didn't have to be there till 6, but she went in at like 4:35 ish. Then it really started coming down. So then she got off work at 8, but I was like, do not drive home in this. She gets off work, so she finally starts driving home at like 4 in the morning, which I wish she would have waited. But started driving home at like 4 in the morning. She calls me and she's like, I'm stuck. And we didn't want to get my daughter in the car because I was like, well, I'll come get you. She's like, your car is only 2-wheel. I'm in the all-wheel drive. Like, don't put our daughter in the car and come get me. That's just all of us are gonna be stuck.
Yeah.
So then she's been up for like 24 hours. She's like, I'm gonna walk home. And she gave me the address. I'm like, that's a 40-minute walk without snow.
Yeesh.
And she was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, do you have snow boots? No, I mean just with like cloth shoes. And so I got mad. I was like, go back to your effing car. You could get frostbite. What are you thinking?
Yes.
And she was like, I'm gonna do it because she's stubborn. And then she called me back in like 10 minutes. She's like, yeah, it was up past my knees. She's like, I couldn't even walk. I did like a 5-minute walk and I could still see the car. Like it was right behind me. Like it barely moved. Then so she finally gets someone to dig her out. And apparently he was a total jerk about it. And she gets to the home and I get a call. She's like, I'm outside. I almost made it in the driveway. And literally it was just like, I think I sent you the picture where it was just up around it.
Yeah,
and
you did.
So I started digging her out of her car at 9 in the morning. I probably didn't get her car in the driveway until about noon. Then we had to do all the sidewalks. I literally spent all Monday from like 9 in the morning till like 6 p.m. shoveling snow off sidewalks.
You got a day off to spend all day shoveling in the snow.
I literally called in my manager. I was like, dude, I can't come in. We could get a fine from the HOA if we don't do our sidewalks. Like I have to do sidewalks and all this.
So was everybody in the neighborhood out shoveling snow?
Everyone was out. Everyone.
Y'all don't have a person that comes through and is like, hey, I'll do all your yards for whatever?
Well, no, not yet. I mean, well, we don't because we just moved here. But honestly, I'm sure they would have been booked out. I know when she was stuck, I was trying to find a tow truck and they were booked out 14 hours in advance. Minimum.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
That's crazy.
Awful.
Yeah, I did. I saw the pictures and it was, I mean, no exaggeration, stuck up past the frame in snow, like all the way up past the tires. Deep.
Well, I sent you that one picture and this was like probably 4:00 on Sunday evening. It was already 27 inches in front of my house.
Jesus Christ.
And it didn't even, and then like when I went to go plow the next day or shovel the driveway the next day because of like the wind and the snowdrift, no lie, probably 3.5-4 feet in front of my garage. I'd never seen anything like it.
I've literally never seen anything like it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm used to snow and I still have never seen anything like this. I was like, this is crazy.
That is crazy. Well, I'm glad you made it out of the other side of that part of the dilemma. I mean, it looks like you guys still have a lot of snow out there, but is traffic moving? People are able to commute again?
Roads are fine. Roads don't even look like it snows. It's just where the grass is.
So I was kind of joking before you got on the line about the Oscars and how a lot of the nominations came out and the fact that I would almost rather talk about the shitty Grammys this year than I would the nominations from the Oscars. Did you catch any of the Grammys?
No, I just saw clips of what's her name, the annoying girl, the stripper chick,
Megan Thee Stallion,
no,
Cardi
the
B.
other one. The one yes, I saw a clip of her performance.
Yeah, man. I watched a clip of Megan Thee Stallion and I watched Dua Lipa and Da Baby. Yeah.
I like Dat Baby. Better
and I Dua Lipa is the fucking most amazing pop artist working today.
I don't even know if I probably know her songs. I think we've had this conversation, and the name sounds so familiar, but I just don't remember.
You gotta check out one of her songs afterwards. The big one's "Levitate." That's the one that is like the kind of big single right now that she did with DaBaby. But she also does Future Nostalgia. The big one that I saw her perform was If You Don't Wanna See Me Dancing With Somebody. Dun, dun. It's fucking sweet.
I've never heard that song.
She's the shit. And what's funny though is I was reading through the comments because I didn't watch the Grammys. I just saw a couple of videos on YouTube this morning, but reading through the comments where people are like, "Oh, look at Dua Lipa. She actually went from being a terrible dancer to like really having great stage presence." So I went back and watched some of her choreography from 2019, and it is fucking hilarious, dude.
Is it really bad?
It's so bad. It's an enjoyable watch. It's such a failure of choreography that it's weird.
It's kind of weird when you think about it that a singer has to know how to dance. Like, why? Those are two totally different skill sets.
Yeah. People like my dat baby. That's cool. Yeah, she is, Patrick. She's fine as fuck. Also, she's got this like really deep, raspy voice. I'm into Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
She's like ethnically ambiguous. Like I imagine everybody be like, yeah, she's hot. There's no question about it.
Oh, yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, she is very ethnically ambiguous.
It's like, what is she? Who knows? There's something for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, no, she's very pretty. I don't know if I've heard any of her songs.
She's really good, man. She's really good. Let me spend the next 20 minutes simping about fucking Dua Lipa here. You guys.
We can't see one hand right now, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Did you watch, and I'm not even going to get into the politics of it, but did you watch Candace Owen and Cardi B going back and forth at each other on Twitter?
Nah, but you hit me, dude. We don't have to dive deep.
It's pretty brutal on Candace Owens' part. Like, so Candace Owens is pretty much like, hey, your music like sets a bad precedence for girls. Like, it's not good for young black women to see this and think it's what's it called. So she starts going in on Candace, and she's like, I know you get really pissed at me, Cardi, because deep down, what I say about you is very true. There's like this insecure girl underneath you, and men treat us how we treat ourselves. Isn't that right, Cardi? And then Cardi pulls up a fake tweet, a Photoshop tweet about Candace Owens' brother and her husband having sex and slapping dicks together. That it's clearly a Photoshop tweet. And she's like, "Oh, you're one to talk. Look what happened." And she's like, "Really, dear? Are you going for a Photoshop tweet? Let's be real. Only one of us has a husband who cheats on him." And like, dude, you need to look at the exchange. It's brutal, dude. Like, on Candace Owens' part, like, she just like really goes for her character and her personality and who she is as a human in the most brutal but honest way. She goes, at the end of the day, you will not find a single person on this planet who wants their daughter to grow up and be you.
And maybe two that want their daughter to grow up to be Candace Owens. Let's be honest.
I would much rather have that over the two.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh,
but it's
boy.
Brutal. It's
boy.
Very brutal, man. And then I was just watching. I didn't watch it live on Twitter. I saw a YouTube video breaking it down, but it was just brutal.
Nothing more entertaining in the week than just watching grown black women tear each other down in front of the rest of the fucking country.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Shit. Oh, that's funny. I had no idea. No, I've been on the Sharon Osbourne thing today. God. Equally stupid. It's all fucking stupid. People.
It's all stupid.
We've lost our way as a society. So I'm just gonna sit back in the cut and talk about fucking the Oscar 2021 nominations, which I still don't think I've seen any. And I'm going to be honest with you, Caleb. This is not the year for Oscar movies for me. I want the dumbest, most escapistest, fucking special effectsiest movies that you can possibly watch. You know what I mean?
I can totally understand that. As someone who doesn't really like blockbusters, if there's any year to watch dumb movies, it's been the last year and a half.
Seriously. I want to escape from the hot button shit going on around me, from all of the division, from all of it's just, there's a lot of negative in the world right now. And I was just reading a think piece on like Variety about how rom-coms are going to crush in the upcoming year, and comedies are going to crush in the upcoming year just because people are so ready for just
Escapism.
harmless, dumb escape. That's why I think Palm Springs did as well as it did this year. It's not a great movie, but it was a good watch. Did you see that?
No, I didn't even hear of it.
It's Andy Samberg and I can't, Christina or Christy something, and it's like Groundhog's Day. It's like a rom-com Groundhog's Day where the whole premise is they keep waking up and living the same day over and over again. The two leads fall in love with each other. It's nothing you've never seen before. It's just that it was like, I mean, in the middle of so many fucking, even like Borat, hilarious, so deeply rooted in the culture war.
Dude, everything is culture war 24 hours a day. And so I'm the same way. Like, honestly, even if a movie gets too much into politics anymore, which I'm a firm believer of, having politics in art is totally acceptable. That's one of the points of art. But right now, even if it's like a movie that's, let's say, a superhero movie and it has any political spin, I don't care if it's right or left, I'm like, ugh, I'm out. I just want to escape from it all.
Yeah. It's trying, man. And everybody's just so shut in. We've got no choice. Like, nobody's can blow off steam. I'm actually happy it's spring break right now, because maybe everybody will be able to go out, cut loose, and like kind of reset, and everybody can we need a cathartic, just everybody fucking chill.
We really do. We need everyone to realize not every person you talk to is the enemy.
No shit, man. No shit. I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution to all of this is. I was talking to a coworker today, and her outlook is bleak, and I'm just like, man, I have faith in the next generation coming up. I don't have any kids, so I don't know. I could be fucking completely wrong. I don't know.
I think you're going to see, and this is probably for your sentence, you're probably not going to like this, you're going to see a big conservative swing with the next generation. Gen Z is already polling as the more conservative than baby boomers.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, at the time, because as people age, they get more conservative. So at this age group, they're one of the most conservative groups in our generation, which doesn't shock me. What do you do as a teen? You rebel counterculture. What's more counterculture than like being a little more traditional right now?
Yeah, being a Zack Snyder fan, heard.
Yeah. So no, so it's interesting. I think that's gonna be, I just hope everyone can just chill out and realize, hey, it's not the end of the world. There's good people who you disagree with. Yeah,
dude, the old school, what did they call that thing where people had different ideas and they like, oh yeah, a healthy debate. That's what it was called. Where you could just like fucking disagree and still have a conversation. Those were the good old days.
Me and my friend Miles, he was over the other day, and we disagree on everything. And I consider him a brother. My daughter calls him Uncle Miles, you know, like, and we had literally like a 2-hour talk. And by the end of it, he's like, dude, he goes, you really made me think about some things that I wasn't thinking of that way. And I was like, hey, you made me think about some things this way. We disagreed on that.
Spit in each other's face, walked off.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, literally, because we're normal, well-adjusted adults, it didn't change our friendship. I know who the guy is. I don't have to agree with anything he says. I know he is an amazing human being.
Yep.
Who cares, you know?
Yeah, that's why we tolerate Andy, if I'm being honest.
That's why.
I don't mean to single you out, Random Andy's channel. Dude, let me know, Andy, by the way, in the comments section, which of the nominees that we really need to watch. I don't know if you've seen it, but I want to check out The Sound of Metal with Riz Ahmed. I want to see The Trial of the Chicago 7. Did you see that one, Caleb?
I haven't seen anything this year.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. No shame in it.
Well, especially like you said, if it's something that does sound like it would be a heavy watch, I'm kind of not wanting it lately.
Patrick McCabe, let me know. I actually know Jeremy Griggs, Geeks and Gamers guy. I don't know him well, but he lives here in Pensacola. We know each other. So I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section. You guys don't go in on anybody. We're just having a good conversation here. Random Andy's channel highly recommends The Father. I hadn't even heard of that one. Oh, it's Anthony Hopkins. I know that much. He's playing a really old dude. Stretching, you know what I mean? He's basically like the Christian Bale of his generation. Really transformed into that role of a 90-year-old man.
90-year-old man?
Oh, shit. We live in a society where healthy debate is a distant memory. Well said, Chief Supreme. Well said. That one's getting tagged for now. I like it. I always try to put at least one of you guys' little nuggets of wisdom into the pinned. Where did it go? I tried to pin it. Maybe I deleted it. I didn't mean to. Oh, there we go. So, I guess we're just vamping here at this point. We haven't even got into any of the
We
stuff
haven't
yet.
even talked about anything. We talked about Twitter beef. Is what we talked about.
Talked about how smoking hot Dua Lipa was. Talked about we're solving the world's fucking woes right now, and I think that's what everybody comes here for.
Yeah, the real important issues.
So in this week's weird news headlines, this one I don't even know where to go with it. I don't even know what direction to take this story or what to do with it, but 100 drivers are all locked out of their vehicles in a parking lot when their key fobs automatically suddenly stop working at Tesco. So like 100 cars, key fobs, all malfunctioned at one time.
How?
That's a crazy question, right? Is it like electromagnetic?
That's what I was just gonna say. Was it like an EMP? Like, that's the only way I could think of.
Right, because if it were at Tesla and not Tesco, you could assume, okay, they're all the same make of car. Maybe they've got the same microchips in it. If one malfunctioned, maybe all of them could go off. But if you've got everything from a fucking Ford to a Fiat in a parking lot and all of their key fobs, what the fuck is it? Key fobs.
Let's call them key faps.
All right, key faps. So all 100 of the key faps stopped working at one time. Okay, EMP, that's a possibility. Aliens?
Yeah, let's go with aliens. I like that better.
All right. Let's see. Hertfordshire, sounds like the UK. A bizarre twist. The case is now being investigated by TV and radio regulator Ofcom. Okay, police have looked into the case, but so far have not found a cause. However, they do say there's not a belief that the case is involved with foul play. So, like, I don't know, man. Sitting at a certain polar location on the Earth, and as it's rotating, the gravitational... But why the fuck that one parking lot?
That's the thing is, I don't. It literally makes no sense.
Baffling.
And even if it were aliens, I don't think they just target this one parking lot.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know what to think about that. But there are conspiracy theories about the full moon being blamed, along with the idea that it could be some kind of alien phenomena. The police say they have received a number of calls from members of the public who have not been able to access their vehicles in the car.
I gotta give a shout out to Nick Mayfield for using a Psych reference.
Okay.
He said, I've heard it both ways, which Psych is one of my favorite shows ever.
I've never seen Psych, but I've heard good things about it from you.
Dude, if anyone I would recommend it to, is you. It's literally just a bunch of nerdy movie pop culture references. That's literally the show.
Really?
And it's hilarious. It's bad TV in a good way. Perfect for what you're saying now. How you kind of just want like innocent escapism. That is a show I would actually highly recommend.
I'm going to just watch fucking the world get destroyed by superheroes. Just get that joyous escapism to some Leonard Cohen in slow motion.
You know it's going to be real depressing too.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I hope so. The more depressing, the more important. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I love, like when you said you're getting excited about Justice League, I was like, dude, it's going to be long. It's going to be boring. It's going to be bleak. It's going to be depressing, and I'm going to love every second of it.
It's going to be a Thursday night at 6 p.m. CST, baby. All right, well, that's cool. Key fobs, key faps, all going off at one time. We don't know what happened. Maybe you guys know what happened. I'm still waiting for the Geeks and Gamers dirt, guys. How am I supposed to be a drama channel when I don't know the drama?
We should just become a YouTube drama channel. Have you ever seen these YouTube drama channels that just comment on other YouTube drama?
Oh, fuck yeah. I went through a phase of watching, like, I'm Alex, Will and E, and James Marriott. They're three, like, UK-based. I don't know if they call themselves commentators. Yeah, but they're clearly drama channels.
I went down this drama rabbit hole the other day with some girl who zombie kills.
Okay.
And the quartering. So
I know the quartering.
Yeah. Which the quartering, for me personally, he's a little too like aggressive, his stances. But this zombie, he called out the zombie kills girl for using Breonna Taylor's death to get a free PS5, which is pretty shitty, And then so someone did a wellness check. She said she was swatted and then blamed him for it and then started flagging anyone's channel who disagreed with her.
I remember this. Was
Yeah, I
she the
literally just
Gamergate girl?
no, this is a different girl.
Okay,
She's some
because I
Twitch
remember
streamer.
that one too.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea who any of these people are. I know who the Courtney is. I've seen like 1 or 2 videos of him, but it was just one of those things where I was just like, when I watched like 7 videos of all these different YouTubers commenting on it, and I'm like, I don't even care about either of these people. Why am I watching?
Yeah,
this?
how did I get sucked into this?
Yeah.
So I just now saw Martial Arts Film Freak in the chat. What's up, man? I don't know if you can hear me because I know you're at work, but good to hear from you. Chief Supreme says my reaction to the Snyder Cut. So Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out tomorrow, right? Love it, love it. Random Andy's channel. Anyone remember the classic John Campea rants? Man, those were some drama, and I loved it. I remember a couple of good Campea rants. I don't know what some of the best ones. Did you ever hear a good John Campea rant?
No, he was very hit or miss for me. You know, I would watch him sometimes I wouldn't. Like, I never really been into movie podcast or like the movie YouTubers. I just don't typically watch them.
Oh, wow. Okay, I just got the dirt. Basically, Geeks and Gamers had a charity, and Zack Snyder showed up and said he's not affiliated and doesn't spread hate, and brought up the Asian shooting because his family has Asians. Damn. Wow. Good for Zack Snyder. Let me just say, I'm just going to put that out there. Good for Zack Snyder, and not necessarily good for Zack Snyder for standing up for what he believes in and being so heavily invested in the fans. It's 2 things I think.
So, yeah, one of those things is Zack Snyder. I'm like, I can understand not liking his movies, but from what I've seen, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
He seems pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, he does seem like a pretty decent human being.
Jay Wolfie, yes, what are they? The E-Boys? Is that what they're called now? With Memulus. Memulus is actually really good. Memulus and Will and E are my favorites of that group of people, and they do less of the. Well, I guess Memulus does a lot of the drama shit.
Is this the Geeks and Gamers or what?
No, sorry, I switched back to the YouTube commentators, drama channels. Geeks and Gamers is the.
Any of these people are.
Geeks and Gamers is the channel that is based, or he was at least based out of here in the area. I've met him before. He's a nice guy. It's the thing that you and I have talked about a million times. You don't have to have the same thoughts and beliefs and ideology as another person to have some sort of connection with him. We got along fine 100%. When I met him. However, I do not like the fact that he uses his platform for what he uses his platform for. That said, I fucking 100% support his right to do it. I just love the thought of a filmmaker coming in there and being like, hey, all of you guys that are here watching this, I don't condone any of this shit. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't even know who. I know who Zack Snyder is. That's the only person that you've referenced that I know.
You gotta give it a watch sometime. I'm not saying everything he says is wrong. It's like, what do you want to use your fucking platform for? What are you going to grandstand for? Or what's the hill you want to die on? Okay, so you don't agree with trans people. Great. Are you going to go out and fucking bash trans people because you don't agree with them? I mean, I don't necessarily get everything behind it, but I'm not going to make a video like why trans people are fucking wrong or what. You know, it's just not how I'm going to use my platform. So
no, I'm just very much, I'm so like open to other people that I'm open to even him. I'm like, okay, I don't hate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's allowed to have that opinion. Like, I'm just not a very hate-filled person. And to almost a fault, to where like I will not judge people for maybe things that I maybe should judge them for, you know, or opinions that I hold, because I'm like, hey, I don't know your upbringing. I don't know what experiences you've had in life. Because the term, like, even like people say someone's closed-minded. It's the most ridiculous term when you really break it down, because closed-minded means you're not open to the opinions of others. Therefore, if you call someone closed-minded, it then makes you yourself a closed-minded person. That's just the way it works.
Okay, I'll give you that in most situations.
In most situations, it does. You know, especially like when it's just interesting, you know? It's just a very interesting thing. So I try to always put myself in the other shoe and go, okay, let me understand where this person's coming from. May not agree with it, but I really want to dig into why, especially if it's someone that I know and I know they're a good person or they're very nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? Because I know you're not an evil person. I
Mm-hmm.
disagree with you, but let me hear it. And sometimes they might have a reason behind whatever debate. I'm not saying trans or whatever. I'm just saying whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They might have a reason behind your debate that you never even thought of, that you applied a meaning that you thought that was the reason they had their debate.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
if
agree.
you could just, give it a second and talk to them. So I don't know. I'm just not a very hate-filled person. I wouldn't want anyone to watch our show and be like, yeah, movies are terrible, is where you go to like just where they bag on ideas.
Yeah. If you want to get even more fucking angry,
Yeah.
go over
Like,
there and
I
check
wanted you to
them
come here
out.
to be like, okay, maybe I was overreacting about something.
I mean, we save all of our vitriol for movies, which, I mean,
Yeah, for each other too. That's it.
correct.
Like we just, yeah.
And you would think that would be a soft enough fucking target for me to be like, oh, that movie sucks. But no, people want to fucking come at you personally, be like, you're a fucking idiot. And it's like,
You're
oh my
a horrible human
god.
being.
That's why I was talking about the movies so that we could all just get along, but not always. All right.
Anyway, weird news. I'm totally derailing everything today.
It's good. It's good. What do we got here? Oh, okay. This is cool. In Taiwan, people are being asked to please stop changing their last name to Salmon, because apparently there's some sushi promotion going on right now where if you want to get the discount, if your last name is Salmon, you get some sort of like price cut, and they're calling it Salmon Chaos. And about 150 mostly young people visited government offices in recent days to change their name. Under the 2-day promotion, which ended Thursday, any customer whose ID card contained salmon would be entitled to an all-you-can-eat sushi meal along with 5 friends. So think about this. We got a little bit of time. We'll transition over to the next story, but you could get a all-you-can-eat blank along with 5 friends if you changed your last name to this menu item.
Would you do it?
That's what food item would you be willing to change your last name to?
I don't know if there's any like thing like steak, but I don't think I want my name to be Caleb Steak.
But what about if you went like ethnic with it and you were like carne, like Caleb Carne?
Caleb Burrito.
Wait,
carne.
Carne isn't steak?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right.
It's beef.
All right.
Asada.
Jeremy McNugget.
Dude, I like the name Jeremy McNugget.
I'll fuck with some McNuggets too, bro.
It's strong.
Change your name for a 2-day promotion. Hey, man, Domino's did a promotion like that back in the day. If people got the logo tattooed, and a ton of people did it. I actually remember that, Patrick. That's a good one. That's a good...
Would you ever get a logo tattooed on you for something like that?
It depends on, specs, like where, how big, and yes.
So for me, it would have to be like one of those deals where they pay me for promotion. They're like, we're going to give you... I don't know. It'd have to be a lot, but like $1,000 a month to have this tattoo on me.
Like an actual, like you're a walking billboard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy,
and even then, though, it still wouldn't be on my face or anything.
I'd like to introduce you guys in the chat to Andy Waffles, our good friend Andy Waffles, who would change his last name for all you can eat waffles for life. Caleb Burger says Chief Supreme. Caleb Pizza, like it. Yeah, I don't know. I think chicken McNuggets are good. I don't know what else I could even think of. Like, if it were like a ambiguous last name that kind of sounded like food, but also could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like something that our white asses would have no idea what it is.
Yeah, like Jeremy Asiago or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's a cool name.
That would make more sense. And
yeah. Jeremy would get a tattoo of a sweet tea company. Damn right. Drinking sweet tea. Oh, fuck yeah.
You so gross.
I said this shit is like, you could fucking pour it on a pancake, sweet tea also.
I think I've told you my rant about the term unsweet tea, how I hate that term.
And you brought me over to your side of the debate. I appreciate you for that.
It's the dumbest thing ever. Unsweet tea. It's just tea. You don't sweet mean put sweetener in it and then you take it out. It's unsweetened.
Did people used to say raise up the window or raise down the window? Do you remember
Raise
people
down
saying
the
raise
window?
down the window? Was that just my
No.
house?
Yeah, no, that was your just backwoods Florida.
Raise it. Just raise down that window. Wait, what? All right. Oh shit. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Can't get away from it. Black man's mom accuses his Filipino girlfriend of being racist for cooking her fried chicken. Caleb, I mean, that's the story. That's the whole thing. What's the most racist food item you can think of?
A racist food item?
I got two, man. I got crackers and yellow rice. What the fuck,
Okay, I was
man?
gonna try to think. I was like, man, what are you? I was like, I don't think there is a racist food item.
Racist, yellow rice is racist as fuck, dude.
Yellow rice is so good.
Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah, delicious.
Mexican rice. What do they call it? Dirty rice?
Dirty rice. Dirty rice is good.
What's another racist food item? Let's see. I mean, people think that. Matter of fact, we were doing like a either or, one's got to go on Ian's channel, and I said like, I think it was light meat or dark meat, and he took umbrage with that statement, and I was like, dude, I swear to God, I only asked you because it's you. No, I was like, I gotta ask Caleb the same shit, bro.
Which the answer is clearly white meat's the better meat.
Dark meat's got the flavor, man.
We're talking on like a bird, like a turkey, right?
Yeah.
White meat or dark meat? Okay, then white meat for me.
Breast or wings versus thighs or legs?
Yeah, I definitely gotta go breast and wings.
Yeah, if we're talking smoked or grilled, I go dark meat. If we're talking fried, gotta go with the light meat.
Yes, I think that's a good one. Yeah, I would almost always go white on there. Light meat's a bit better in bird.
It's
red meat versus poultry. I gotta go red meat.
Ooh, controversial pick. Are you gonna see Ian this week, by the way?
Yeah, he actually just texted me probably Sunday. We're gonna try to get the family together because my wife actually isn't working on a Sunday for once.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So
She's
for those of you guys at home, Controversy is gonna be meeting up with Movies Are Terrible over on Caleb's home court, which is cool considering me and Caleb have never hung out before.
I know, that's so weird. I was just telling him that. I'm like, dude, it's so crazy. I think I'm gonna meet you before I meet Jeremy.
It is crazy. Ian's the shit, dude. Ian's the best. I really like him. He's a good dude.
When hopefully all this is done, I can fly out there or fly you out here or something. We need to get together in the same room eventually.
Yes. All right. Nobody's going to hit me with racist foods in the chat. That's fine. I guess we'll move on. Everybody's like, I'm not fucking touching that.
I'm not touching it.
Stupid. All right. Here we go. This one's going to transition us nicely into the week's Florida man story that I've been waiting to share with you, Caleb, as well as everybody in the chat. But this one came from you, actually, and it's from BBC. Mother used deepfake to frame cheerleading rivals. Do you know anything about this story?
This is, yeah. So I didn't watch it. I read it the other day, and then before she was arrested. Now she's been arrested, but she put the faces of cheerleading rivals on photos, was it, or was it actual video? I think it was one of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nude photos were some of them, drinking, smoking, and then showed them what to the coach.
Yeah, and sent them to the girls as well. Like it's bad. It's bad. So
bad.
She looks fucking crazy. And I'm not trying to shame somebody from the way they look, but you earn this.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can always shame someone after they do something this horrible.
Yeah, for sure. Once you create fake CP of your daughter's rivals.
I was going to say, would she get, I didn't look at the charges. Is that one of the charges?
I don't know that it can be, but okay, let's look. So she's accused of sending abusive messages to the teams in addition to the doctored images and videos, using fake phone numbers. The police department in Bucks County said it's believed that her daughter was unaware. Oh my God, dude. That would suck so fucking bad. Two families came forward after receiving similar messages, harassments from an anonymous number. She used their social media accounts to generate deep fakes. They traced the phone number, which led them to a website that sells numbers to telemarketers. Victory Vipers has always promoted a family environment, and we're sorry for all individuals involved. This is a statement from the school. We have very well established policies and very strict anti-bullying policy in our program. When this incident came to our attention last year, we immediately initiated our own internal investigation and took the appropriate action at the time. This incident happened outside of our gym. Like, hey, this shit did not happen on our court.
Like, it was not in our presence.
So, all right. I don't see what the actual charges are. Let's hit her with some, dude. What do you charge that lady with?
You would think if you're putting a minor's face on a naked body, they could hit her with, CB. I don't know if we can even say the word on here. I don't know if I want to. Charges. Wouldn't you think they'd be able to? Like, I don't know, like lewd child stuff, couldn't you?
I would think so. It's an interesting question because I guess on the technicality, if the models weren't nude, then if the nude models weren't underage, then is it really? I feel like it's semantics at this point, because if it portrays the person, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
would say, for me, in my opinion, it should be.
Yes, agreed. Because
she should brought up on charges for that.
While investigators may be able to determine the authenticity of said videos and photos, maybe the average person wouldn't be able. Then again, maybe it's some fucking garbage Photoshop job, you know what I mean, with like different skin complexion and shit. All roughly cut out. Yeah.
Her version of a deep fake was just like an actual Polaroid. She cut it out, put it on a picture, and took another picture.
Yeah. I say fuck this lady though. Throw the book at her, man. Throw the book at her. Like whatever. Dude,
she's an awful human being. Who goes after children?
Bullying teenagers, man. What the fuck? I guess they were. I assume they were teenagers. Oh, Jeremy Kelly in the chat. What's up, man? He said the Patricks and Jeremys are here in force. Let's see. Never knew until recently that mayo was a white person food. I was like, okay. Have you heard that, Caleb?
That mayonnaise is, white people love mayonnaise?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it is.
White people love mayonnaise. I don't even get offended by that. It's like, absolutely.
Do you fuck with it?
Oh yeah, dude. You want to know the most Mexican and white thing I've done as a true biracial person?
I'm gonna assume it's something like putting mayo on a burrito. I don't fucking know.
No. I will put like mayo like on a sandwich or like a burger. You put mayo and then green chili on it. It's the best of both worlds.
I will take green chili over mayo any fucking day.
I live off green chili and red chili, and I make it just ridiculously spicy, and then everyone complains, but I don't care because it's delicious.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mayonnaise is white people food. I'm trying to think. There was a very popular stand-up special. I think it was Chris Rock. It was either Chris Rock or Martin Lawrence that does a whole bit about it.
On a serious note, Random Zanny Channel said food is food, and I agree with that. Actually, I'm a firm believer of all food is just food. As much as I say there's white people food and all that shit, all just food.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've met black people that love mayonnaise. I worked at a Subway for years, so I've seen all types.
Oh, dude, my
eat all
wife
types.
loves mayonnaise.
Does she?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
mayonnaise. She puts on everything.
Look at us, man. We're just really just breaking through glass ceilings of stereotypes. Because I fucking hate mayonnaise. I think it's disgusting. I don't fuck with it.
Do you know what is gross? So one of my friends once said that white people like mayo and grapes together, and I was like, this is not a thing. But then I went to someone's house and they made chicken salad with grapes in it, and I was like, this is a thing. Apparently white people eat mayo
and
grapes.
I like it. I just now went through this whole big tirade about how much I hate fucking mayonnaise, but to be honest with you, I like chicken salad a lot, and I like it especially.
I love chicken salad.
It's good. I like it when it has white grapes that are raisins in it.
See, I don't like any raisins or fruit.
No fruit in your
celery.
All right.
No.
All right. I don't like celery all that much. I don't dislike it. It's just something about it. I don't know, man.
It's just water. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's crunchy water. It's a way to get your water crunchy. That's what it is.
I don't know what we're talking about. Hold up, man. We got a docket over here.
This has got off the rails. You know, we even covered like what have you been watching lately, right? We just blew past that.
We ain't got time for all that.
No, let's get on movies. Screw Florida Man for a second. Have you watched anything good?
All right, I'm pulling this whole segment out. If we're going, we're going. All right, bye, Florida Man. Hold up, real quick. Pensacola, Florida. A girl and her mother arrested for hacking into over 150 students' accounts to change their votes from whoever they voted as homecoming queen to the principal's daughter. She won homecoming queen last year. Just now got caught for cheating. Obviously, a much different situation than the other.
Okay, rewind it. Was it? She got caught for
a girl and her mom. The mother's the principal. The mother went in and knowingly hacked into 150 student accounts for Tate High School, which is here in Pensacola, to change the kid's vote to her daughter for homecoming queen.
Mothers are freaking crazy.
They're crazy as fuck.
What the hell? Like, why would you do that?
Dude, and apparently the girl knew, so how do you take...
Well, the daughter knew?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I mean, she's being raised by a garbage person, so she's probably a garbage person too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, this is a different kind of garbage person. This, to me, this reeks of like what that last broad did was completely
evil.
Evil.
Like, that's horrible. Yeah.
This is like stupid privileged people shit, like the college admission scandal kind of shit, where it's like, you're not hurting anybody else.
Much more petty level.
Yes, yes, it's the petty version of that, because at least for the college students, they're getting into a good prestigious school. What does this girl get a crown that she knows was fucking stolen off some other poor girl's fucking head? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
All right.
I don't know. People do things for the dumbest reasons.
All right, movie news. Here we go. We got some bangers. Here we go. So a Funko Pop toy, as well as another toy. I can't remember who the toy maker of the other one was, but they've released figures spilling the beans about additional monsters who may end up being in Godzilla vs. Kong. We got an actual action figure for this character that's kind of been rumored to be in the Godzilla vs. Kong movie even prior to this. Caleb, would you like to take a guess which iconic Toho character is going to end up in the Kong vs. Godzilla movie?
Mechagodzilla.
Bing! That is the one, man. That is so the one.
Obvious.
You kind of see him in the trailer. Kind of.
Okay. I only watched like half the trailer.
It's like a fucking split second, blink you'll miss it kind of thing, but people are like, that's Mechagodzilla, and so we kind of knew he was coming. What's your enthusiasm level for this?
I still haven't seen the last one, so that's my enthusiasm level.
You saw Kong Skull Island and you liked it. Is that right?
Liked it is probably taking it too far. It was what it was.
You watched it.
Sense.
Yeah.
I watched it. I didn't dislike it. It was just, it existed. The special effects are cool.
Yeah. I am trying to set my expectations at a level where I accept going into it. If it's as good as Pacific Rim, I've got to be happy, because I enjoyed Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim 2, though, if it's like Pacific Rim 2, I'm going to be burned.
I think Pacific Rim 2 is worse than Pacific Rim, and we've had this conversation. I don't think it's that much worse than it. I think they're both pretty, they are what they are.
That's fair. I watched the anime.
What did you think about it?
It's fine.
Did you see what I meant about the weird frame rate thing?
Yes, I did. It was the first thing I noticed when I was watching it.
It's jarring, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's just like poorly optimized video game. It's really jarring.
Yeah, there wasn't enough there for me to hold on to, I don't think.
Yeah, no, me either. I was kind of like, okay, that's enough. I'm not going to watch another episode.
Yeah, I said I watched Pacific Rim anime. That's not true. I watched the first 2 episodes and was just like, I don't know. I didn't go back to it.
I did. I watched 1, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right,
Which,
well, cool.
It sounded like something I would have loved, but nah.
Do you like Mechagodzilla as a character?
Yeah, of course. I hope they really bring it into the aliens. They're the reason behind it. Like this. I hope they just go totally cheeseball like the original.
Yeah, if they did that, I could. The problem is them trying to straddle the line and trying to be 2 things at one time. It's like either you're a shitty, fun kaiju movie, or you're some serious disaster movie. Like 2014's Godzilla is what I got primed on. That was the first one in this MonsterVerse, and I was like, oh, cool, they're treating the fucking kaijus like they're taking place in the real world. And then, nope, not at all.
It's one of those things you can't have it both ways. It's the DCEU problem. Sometimes they want to be dark, serious, gritty. Sometimes they're chasing a more lighthearted tone. It's like, which are you?
Yep.
Pick one.
Yeah. Your
know?
identity crisis isn't helping me.
Yeah. And then there's that's an issue because the second one looked a lot more like a true Godzilla film. Or was I wrong?
Which one? The last one?
Yeah, it looked more just like an actual Godzilla film.
It
like
did.
Kind of big and like I like the 2014 Godzilla. I think it's definitely one of the better Godzilla movies. But I also think remember the old Godzilla movie, the really bad one, the 90s one?
Uh-huh.
That actually spiritually feels more like Godzilla. It's bad, it's cheesy, it's campy. But it's tonally, I think, closer to Godzilla than the new one is. The new one's a much better film, though.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Because it seems like there are the people that have the Criterion collection of all the fucking old black and white classic movies that are going to tell you that, Gojira 1954's Gojira is like an actual, like a good movie, a kind of revered movie. I can't speak to that. I wasn't around in 1954. Don't listen to what Ian Elliott Carter tells you.
For the time, I think it probably is a fairly decent film.
We got a word from King of the Hills 34 coming in real time. Fuck, I just finished the Snyder Cut and it's actually good.
Of course it is. It's Zack Snyder.
Oh, God. I don't know, Caleb. I think that's a very hot take with your Godzilla 98 take, and I haven't really thought about it, but yeah. Okay, so 54 Godzilla, prestigious, revered, people, critics like it and shit. Everything after that is...
So 90% of the Godzilla lore
is trash.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way. It's just, it's so, like, flamboyant.
We both love Godzilla.
Yes.
I think, but
yes.
I think we're intellectually honest enough to know what it really is.
Yeah. There are people who are so serious about the shit, and they're, like, talking about plot points from all the different movies, and I'm like, there's no continuity in any of them, and everything's just a very fucking weak frame to wrap some animal fights around,
That's exactly what it is.
Let's see. That was a feck. Oh, excuse me, King. I apologize about that. That was not a fuck. Right. Moving on. You know what I've been watching? And my wife hates it, and I can understand why. Billy on the Street is so fucking funny to me, dude.
Oh, the one who he just goes around and asks random stupid stuff.
Yeah, and he's super gay and super loud and aggressive, and like gets up in people's face and fucking yells at them.
Super gay just sounds like the funniest superhero.
Dude, he kills me, bro. He is so fucking funny. He'll be running down the street like with a microphone, run up to somebody, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and they're just like, bah! Just runs up to the next person. It's crazy.
I've been watching. Here's my weird thing that I've been watching, and I have no idea how I got on this kick. I've been watching clips of the Steve Harvey show on YouTube.
Nice.
And I am obsessed. Like, I've seen probably 1,000 clips at this point.
You're watching out of context clips of Steve Harvey.
It just his advice section where he
okay.
People ask him questions about like relationships, and he's super brutally honest, and sometimes I'm like, this is actually what people need to hear, because sometimes those relationship things, they're like, well, this, and you're like, wow, that is horrible advice for anyone in a healthy relationship. And he'll like just call it out. He's like, that's dumb. Why are you doing that?
I haven't ever seen his talk show.
Dude, it's actually, I never paid attention to the guy. Like, I never really watched his stand-up, anything. And now I'm like, he's really funny. And I like his like outlook on things. I'm like, I kind of dig him.
I like him.
That he's obviously wrong on. Like, I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm. I like Family Feud is best with Steve Harvey on it.
Then you would probably love his show. Like, just search it, like, Ask Steve. It's like he had a girl the other day who was like, I just bought a house with a guy, and we've been dating a while, but we haven't said I love you to each other yet. And he's like, the hell are you buying a house if you haven't said I love you? And then she's like, well, this is, he's like, first of all, is your name on the deed? No. He's like, so you didn't buy a house. He bought a house and you're staying in it. And especially and he's just like sometimes brutally honest. And I'm like, I kind of dig it.
That's his whole, yeah, dude. That's his definite appeal for sure.
Yeah.
Billy don't give an F. No, 100% Billy on the street. Victoria's just like, he's so loud. I'm like, would you humor him if you ran into him on the street? And she's just like, no. I'm like, what would you do? I'd run away. All right. So Johnny Cage, obviously not in this Mortal Kombat coming out. Been a lot of controversy about, I say controversy. There's been a lot of discussion about why Johnny Cage isn't in the movie when this new guy is. But the producer has now come out and revealed why this decision was made. So let's see how this clown justifies his bullshit. All right. Johnny Cage's absence from the Mortal Kombat reboot has been disappointing for some fans, but the film's producer has now explained why the character wasn't included in the film. The movie's cast of characters will be led by newcomer Cole Young, which that's what everybody's like, why have Cole Young as the leader and not Johnny Cage?
Cole Young is made for this movie, right?
Yes.
Well, that's a brilliant decision. Absolutely a better decision.
Okay. Go. Why? How come?
Because now you're going in with no preconceived notions of this character. You can actually develop and create a character and give true character development instead of preconceived notions on him. It's a much better idea.
So you think the idea of putting just any character that's not canonically in there would have been smarter as the lead?
Much more. And as the lead.
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's a good point. When you say it that way, I feel like he kind of serves as the audience eyes. He knows as much about the tournament as we do, so they're allowed to give exposition to him, where it wouldn't make much sense to be, I don't know. It depends on how you wrote it, but I do feel where you're coming from. It's just interesting. I believe he's the only character from the original lineup that's not made it into this film.
That part's weird. The fact that just he's not in it. Not that he's not the lead, but the fact that he's not in it is
at
weird.
all. It is. It's just interesting. So let's see. He says that the character has played different roles in different games, but usually oscillates somewhere between the comic relief and the heroic lead. In 1995, he was one of the 3 central characters. Okay, so here's his gigantic quote. He says, Johnny Cage is obviously the elephant in the room, and there's a number of reasons why Johnny Cage was problematic in this particular movie out of the gate. One, he's a very big personality, right? He needs his own space. It's very hard to just throw him in a movie. I understand that for sure. Like I said with Kano. So taking him out was not very easy. So taking him out was very easy, not only for the movie, but for the sequel. I want to make a sequel, and I've got Johnny Cage, which hasn't been used in the first one, so I have a big stick and carrot that may be able to have Johnny Cage's real presence in the second one. So it's almost like he's keeping him in his back pocket to pitch the sequel.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Smart.
Yeah, very smart. I mean, we'll have to see if this movie performs. I mean, it's going straight to HBO Max, right?
Yeah. He goes on to say, and I like this as well, secondarily, when you think about Mortal Kombat, if you just think about like the patina of the movie, that's a word that I've never heard before. It has a very Asian feel to it. And I early on felt uncomfortable having a white male lead kind of lead that charge in the first movie. It just felt Hollywoodish to me, which is weird because he's an actor, which is also weird. Okay, so for me to retranslate that, because it sounds, I think, a little bit different than what he's saying. When you look at the aesthetic of the original Mortal Kombat game, it is a very Eastern-influenced game, despite the fact that every one of the characters is played by a fucking white person. But I think his decision was to kind of keep it grounded in the mythos instead of adding this self-aware, self-referential, almost fucking throwing Deadpool into the middle of this serious movie, you know?
It would have been like Ash from Evil Dead, or I can't think of his name, but Big Trouble in Little China, like that type of character in the middle of your film. It
Jack
totally
Burton.
changes. Yeah, it changes your entire feel of the film.
Yeah, somebody, and I don't besmirch them for saying it, but they were kind of like, that's not my Scorpion, because Scorpion's actually voiced by that bad motherfucker from The Last Samurai and from Avengers Endgame. Anyways, the character that's playing Scorpion is a Japanese guy, and they were just kind of like, you know, when he says get over here, he's got an Asian accent, and that's not the Scorpion that I know. And I'm like, well, you know, your Scorpion was from 1992 or whatever.
Was Scorpion in the mythos, was he white or was he
Asian?
Yeah, he was Asian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They just cast him with a white dude because that's who they had at the time available. Well, I'm sure sure there were probably a couple Asian people in the world back in 1992, but
Yeah,
like in the studio. Yeah. They're just like, hey, you. I'm stoked about this fucking movie, dude. Like, I am very excited about Kong versus Godzilla. I'm very excited about the Snyder Cut, which we're just about to see tomorrow. And the most excited I am is for this new Mortal Kombat movie.
I'm super excited for Snyder Cut. I was going to try to start it tonight, but I'm like, do I really want to watch a 4-hour movie tonight after the podcast?
I talked Victoria into watching it with me tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it tomorrow for sure.
But she was down. I was like, do you want to sit down and watch a 4-hour comic book movie with me tomorrow night? And she was like, eh. And I was like, no, you don't understand. It started back in 2017. And then I just laid out fucking 4 years worth of history to her. And she's like, all right, I guess I'll watch it.
My wife was sold because she hates comic book movies. She likes Batman versus Superman. She's like, oh, it's like more like a real movie. That's how she always describes it. She's like, it's not just all goofy. And so she was like,
y'all are
like, yes.
so, man, you are raising your wife to be an idiot, Caleb.
Dude, my wife likes such good cinema. She loves like Blade Runner 2049, all those good movies.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Me and you are on the same page about Blade Runner 2049, period. That's it.
That's the only movie.
It's the only movie we agree on.
We're literally on the same page, I think, about 99% of movies, except for blockbusters, and we discuss blockbusters a lot.
And, but you like blockbusters, just not the ones I like.
I don't love blockbusters.
They're your favorite genre.
I mean, I'm trying to think of blockbusters I've enjoyed in the last couple of years. Batman vs Superman is one. Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah, you fucking love that movie.
I do love that movie. That's just the anime nerd in me. I love that movie. I think that's it.
Come on, hold up. That can't be right.
There has to be.
Dune hasn't come out yet, but you're gonna like Dune. Or you're at least gonna watch Dune.
It's gonna be a different type of blockbuster. That's Denis Villeneuve blockbuster. That's totally different.
Top Gun 2, Maverick. You excited about that?
No.
All right. You don't like any of the Mission Impossible movies?
No.
Fast and Furious?
Oh, I got one. The War of the Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes movies. Do those count as blockbusters?
Yeah, I mean, they were huge financial failures, but they were awesome. I'm with you on that.
They were. It's so sad.
It is, because that's probably top 5 best trilogies of all time.
I would absolutely agree with that. It's incredible. I just searched blockbusters recently, and Edge of Tomorrow. I liked Edge of Tomorrow.
Dude, we can go through this whole list, but I'm just still hung up on the fact that you have convinced Shobi somehow, and I know she's a good person, that you've convinced her somehow that Batman versus Superman is a real movie.
No, she said that. It wasn't me. Because she hates comic book movies. She hates sci-fi. She hates all that nerdy shit.
Oh, shit.
She was like, she liked that, and then she loved Joker. She was like, oh, Joker's excellent.
It actually, yes, Victoria feels the same way. And to be honest, I'm totally just fucking around, because Victoria's the same. Like, she doesn't really consider superhero movies to be real movies either. Yeah, she's a real Scorsese about it.
Yeah, no, that's my wife too. Like, she doesn't like with superhero movies. She's like, when I want to watch one, which isn't very often.
Is it the whole time, like from beginning to end? Because I know we've talked about this a little bit. Victoria, I think, just hates third acts just in general.
No, it depends on the movies. If it's Marvel, it's the whole time. She rolls her eyes the whole time. With the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy. She liked Guardians of the Galaxy.
So did you. Strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
Typically, it is third acts that she has a problem with too. When they turn into more traditional comic movies is when she has a problem.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why both of them probably like the Jokers, because it's nothing like those other movies.
Well,
but
Joker is the best comic book movie.
Are you going with that? Best one.
Yeah.
Better than the Dark Knight. Better than Dark Knight.
The Heath Ledger Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's great in it, and everything else about the movie sucks.
Bro, it is so nicely fucking shot.
Go back and watch that film and tell me anything besides him is good.
It's so funny when Batman's in the police department interrogating Joker and he's in the Batman costume. Like, there's something about that shit that just cracks me up.
There's so much of it that's like that. There's so much of Batman that is just like so. I think because it's trying to be grounded so much
that it seems crazy.
That it's just like, yeah, there's a dude just standing there in a cape and a cow.
Oh, dude. All right. But to be fair, and I didn't realize how ridiculous this was till the last time we watched it, but when Batman scurries across the fucking ceiling in the, like he's in Hereditary on fucking Batman v Superman, it's like, what the fuck was that?
Or like turds all over.
He's like up in the cut fucking chilling, dude. That shit is wild.
Because there's a lot of stuff like that works on paper that just doesn't work. But that's where, even as much as I shit on the Marvel movies, that's where I will give them a lot of credit, is they kind of just throw out all realism because they know it's not realism. And there is something like, if you do go back and watch Dark Knight, and I think Heath Ledger is phenomenal in it. But there's just scenes where, like, because it's so grounded, they're hilarious, where like he is hanging out by the trash can waiting for Commissioner Gordon to come out and take out his trash. And he comes out and he's just hanging out there. And he's like, I've just been hanging out by this dude's trash, hoping he'll take it out at some point in time.
Oh, Batman is a loser. Just in real life. I mean, if he was a real person, like, dude, get over it.
Yeah.
Like, we've all lost someone, dude. Look at yourself.
So would you say Dark Knight is the best comic book movie?
No, I was just trying to appeal to your fucking edgelordiness.
What would you say is the best
comic book movie? Damn, bro. I prefer Batman Begins to The Dark Knight. I think I've told you that before. It's hard to say it's the best. Joker is really, really good. I've just, as we've also discussed, for those of you guys in the chat, my only critique of Joker is that it leans so heavily on two of Martin Scorsese's fucking screenplays of fantastic movies that everybody's already seen.
I would agree with that. Even as someone who loves that film, I would definitely agree with that.
It's fantastic. To be honest with you, I might prefer it to King of Comedy. Taxi Driver is just a movie I'm obsessed with, but I never like grew up on King of Comedy the same way. So I really like the Joker, Caleb. I don't know, man. I'm sitting here drawing blanks. The first Iron Man is really fucking good. The first Spider-Man I thought was really fucking good.
I like Spider-Man 2 better than 1.
Yeah, it's probably a better movie, but it wasn't the first time. For me, the thing was seeing Spider-Man swinging through Manhattan the first time on the big screen. I was like, oh, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, to me, and I like a lot of comic book movies. Actually, no, I don't. I like 20% of comic book movies. But Joker, for me, is top tier. Like, it's just a great film.
What's the next one? I mean, not definitive. We're not putting this shit in stone. I know you like Guardians, but what's the next one?
It would be... I mean, Guardians is definitely up there for me. It really is. Guardians, I think, is an incredible film. Watchmen has to be up there for me. The Watchmen has to.
I like the Watchmen TV series quite a bit.
I didn't like the TV series.
Did you watch it?
Like the first 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Understandable. Totally different situation. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. I love the 89 Batman, but I don't think it's my favorite. I just think I fucking love it, you know?
I love Batman Returns.
Yeah, you do. That's a good one.
I love Batman Returns.
I went in on Holden the other day and it got cut out of the video because he did the whole Batman thing. People don't understand Batman. I told you about this. I was like, there's a lot of different interpretations of comic book characters and everybody's always saying Batman don't fucking kill people. And I laid out the whole scene because I don't remember. Supposedly he's killed somebody in every one of his movies except for blank, like Batman and Robin. Maybe he didn't kill anybody in that one, but he's killed somebody in all of the other ones. But I remember specifically the first fight scene in Batman Returns when he's fighting all of those crazy fucking clowns and there's like a
grenade.
Yeah, he sticks the fucking dynamite in him and pushes him into a manhole and fucking blows him up.
You know what? So the Christopher Nolan movies are really why people really got on, like, I mean, yeah, it happened in the comics, but really got on the Batman doesn't kill. And I'm like, did you watch the Christopher Nolan films? He murders Ra's al Ghul at the end. He's like, I'm just going to put you in this train and drive you off the edge, but I didn't touch you, you know?
No, that was some technicality shit. I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah, that's like the dumbest shit ever. Like, it's like, I would rather have a Batman that kills than does that.
I don't care either way. I kind of do prefer my superheroes not to kill people, but it's funny because a lot of the people who are the most, and I'm generalizing here, a lot of the people that are the most ardent of Batman not killing people are the same ones who don't give a fuck that Captain America murdered like 50 people in fucking Winter Soldier. Just shot him fucking dead, point blank.
Just murdered everybody.
Fuck it, everybody's got to go. Yeah, and nobody cares, even if it's Captain America. Like, I feel like it's kind of like
To me,
the cost
Batman
of
makes more
doing
sense
business.
I mean, Captain America makes sense killing too.
He's a
was World War II
soldier.
soldier.
Yeah. All of them. People
all
got to
of 'em.
fucking die sometimes.
Well, and you know why when people go, oh, well, it's Batman's rule. I'm like, you know why it's a rule? So they can sell you comics with the Joker in them constantly. That's why it's a rule.
Wait,
That's
explain.
why Batman's because if this was a real character arc, Batman would kill the Joker. He would kill Penguin. The whole reason Batman doesn't kill is so that they can bring back his group of villains every month or week to sell you a new issue.
I understand. It's a good point.
That's the whole reason that the rule was created.
And I don't know. Is that like New 52 rules? Does he? I don't know the comics well enough. I can only base it on Movie World.
No, he is. That's one of his rules. I mean, depending, unless you're going like Frank Miller stuff that isn't, quote unquote, Elseworld stuff, which I don't know. I find Batman more interesting when he kills, personally.
He's Johnny Thomas has being murdered in front of his parents. He doesn't like killing. That's fine. I would never say that you should or shouldn't like Batman that kills. I'm just simply saying that there are versions of Batman. Kingdom Come, right? What was the one where it was like the alternate timeline after Flashpoint, and then Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, and he's like fucking ruthless. Frank Miller's fucking Batman.
Here's my thing is, I'm totally okay with Batman killing. I'm totally okay with him not. I really am. But I'm with you. It's always like people are like, well, because it doesn't stand up to comics. And then they're like, I love Thor Ragnarok. And I'm like, well, okay. Then you just threw out your entire Batman doesn't kill debate.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's not the hill I want to die on. I don't claim to understand Batman better than anybody else. I think everybody's interpretation of him is valid, just like every writer.
Nail on the head, though. That's the thing that's hard with these characters, is there's a billion different interpretations of them.
And if you grew up with one certain iteration, then that's the one that's truth to you. Yeah, it's your truth, Caleb.
Your truth.
All right, yeah, we'll move on from that. No Johnny Cage. I had a cool idea. It's actually not my idea, but we've talked a little bit about how worthless the Oscars are so far in this podcast, and I think that's really an important point to just drive home. The Oscars is the most self-congratulatory, masturbatory, fucking inaccessible, insulated bullshit. It's the reason I prefer the Golden Globes to the Oscars is because, the Hollywood Foreign Press, they're a bunch of clown cars. They're fucking basically tabloid journalists, but at least they're objective, because when you work in the industry and you're friends with everybody in the industry and everybody's just patting each other on the back and congratulating the same shit, to me, it just feels so disingenuous. Also understanding that most of the people in the Academy don't even watch the fucking movies. They just vote with their intuition or whatever. And it's like the whole thing has become a joke. So I propose, what if they just turn this year's Oscars into a COVID relief fucking marathon? You know what I'm talking about? Like a charity event.
I think that's much better. I would be more likely to, watch it than watch something like that.
That, to me, it feels like it would be a way for Hollywood to put their fucking money where their mouth is, and instead of getting up and grandstanding about how they want to fucking make a difference in the world, just do it. You got an opportunity right here in front of you. Just fucking do something positive for the world instead of fucking
talking about it.
These fucking movies that nobody's seen before.
That's like this old company I used to work for. They would always talk about like politics at the corporate meeting and stuff, and they'd be like, talk about distribution of wealth and this, and I'm like literally sitting there watching the CEOs being like, you're multimillionaires and you pay us nothing. You have the funds and the ability to redistribute wealth within your own company, and you don't even do it.
Yeah.
Like, so sorry, miss me with it. And that's how I feel about Hollywood a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's like, it's rich people telling me rich people are evil.
Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. To Random Andy's channel's point, there are a lot of great movies that are nominated by the Academy. Caleb just now picked up 1917, and to me, that was the best movie of last year. I believe that was maybe it was the year before. I think it was last year. It lost to Parasite, which was also a phenomenal movie for myself and Caleb. Not the first Korean movie that we've ever seen before, so not maybe as impactful as it was to others. However, 1917 is a marvel of filmmaking, and to see movies like that get rewarded for their technical prowesses, it's great, and I do honor that side of it. But I also do feel that there's a type of movie that tends to really speak to Academy voters, and I feel like they are so far away from the kind of films that speak to audiences.
You know what's interesting is we were talking about the Grammys, and I actually like the Oscars more than the Grammys. And so the reason why is, the thing that's nice about Oscars is I do feel like they actually try to go on like technical merit and what's interesting, and Grammys just go to what's the most popular. So it's interesting how reversed it is, because like in the Grammys you don't hear like indie stuff or a little small album that's very artistic get a nomination. It's just whatever's on the pop charts.
Yeah.
And the Oscars is a complete reverse. It's not just all blockbusters. It is I think at least an attempt to find stuff that is a little more interesting. The problem I have with it though is, like, we all know those people who really think they understand cinema, and they're like, all my favorite films of the year. Oh, they're really all the best picture nominees. Those are all your favorite movies you watched last year.
Yes, that's a lot of people. Yes. I say it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in our sphere.
There's a lot of people I know who are not film buffs. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, I'm a film buff. And you're like, oh yeah, because you got a list and then you watched them and you're like, someone told me these were good, so now I say they're good because I feel cultured.
That feels to me like the entire thing. I feel like that same thing applies to the actual Academy members. And as I'm sitting here working through this, as we're conversing, is like, does that make the critics' choice the most valid to me? I don't know, man. I feel like there's got to be, like, who would the sample poll be like? Who would you want to get their opinions about what the best movies there were the most?
Here's the advice I'll give to you, to me, to anyone listening. The most important critic you can listen to when discussing film is yourself.
Caleb. Oh, excuse me.
That's it. Yourself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, do you love a movie? Yeah, then it's a great film.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if everyone in the world thinks it's bad. Doesn't matter. I think it's bad. You think it's bad. It doesn't matter. Did you like it? It's art.
Do you think, okay, I respond to what you're saying, the subjective elements of film. Do you think that there is a different category between films that you love and think are great versus films that you might not love but you can acknowledge are technically great?
Yeah, I do think there's things that you can are technically interesting. A perfect example I say all the time is Hereditary. I think it's technically, I just don't like it. Mother is another one of those. Technically, I think it's a very interesting film. I just don't like it.
Yeah, but and that's fair.
I would never say it's bad, though.
I, strictly on the terms of technical prowess, I am shocked that any movie was able to beat 1917 because of just how impeccably fucking crafted it is, from like a framing and blocking and fucking movement of the cinematography. It's insane. It's insane. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
It's like how we were just talking about when Planet of the Apes didn't win Best Visual Effects. I was just like, really?
Yeah. Who did it lose to? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it was something that was like, really, that just blew me away.
Andy, you are absolutely a film buff. You go out of your way to catch everything. I think McLovin I would also consider in that category of people who just like are studious about movies and very enthusiastic about checking out as much as you can. I have a lot of respect for that. For some reason, this hasn't been the year that I've been able to lock into that part of myself as much as in years past. I don't know.
I would say for you, me, we're usually in that camp, but this year we just haven't been.
Yeah.
You know, I think life and everything. I definitely do agree.
Yeah.
But
this is the fewest nominations that I've seen.
Dude, this is the fewest movies I've watched in a year. I've probably in this year, in what we almost into 4 months of the year, I'm no lie, probably seen 10 movies this year. If that.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of documentaries and docuseries.
A lot of TV.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and switch gears. We're gonna kind of start to Patrick. Take it easy, my friends. You guys do me a favor. I hate to even ask, but make sure to click the like button before you head out to kind of help us with the algorithm. What's up, Patrick? Welcome back. Jeremy Kelly, I appreciate you stopping by to hang out and talk with us, man. It's good chatting with you as well. Let's see. I watched Best Picture films in the theater this year. Kind of ruined that. That's from King of the Hills 34. I think that's relatable for sure.
Yeah, I was actually just telling you how I bought 1917 purposely, and I have my Vudu account linked to my Amazon because what's been helping me out is VR, watching them in the Amazon app where it looks like a theater. It's not the same, but it definitely is the closest experience that you can get.
We can't watch it together, right?
No.
Through big screen?
Big screen you can, but I think you would have to buy them through the big screen app.
We need to figure this out. Figure this out. I'm very curious. Holden and Prime tried to do a shared viewing a couple weeks back, and they weren't able to get it to work through big screen. I do know it was still in its beta phase. The last time I looked, I think it still is. So maybe that's a feature they'll get to.
I know for a fact there's a way to do it. We just need to figure it out.
Featured Films in the chat. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by to talk some movies with us. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the Team Terrible MVP Patreon topics. This morning, I reached out to my Patreon supporters, the wonderful people that they are, and said, hey, you guys, I don't have a show. You guys hook me up with some stories. Normally, I do it so that I can get interaction. This time, I'm doing it because I literally can't find anything worth talking about, and I've got a couple of good ones here. We talked about Mark's question for you regarding the weather a little bit ago, and then he also mentioned to me that the Russo brothers directed the cinematic trailer for Fortnite Chapter 2. Have you ever played Fortnite?
Like, downloaded it once, played it for like 5 seconds. Battle Royales aren't for me.
I know you like gaming, and I didn't know what you thought about Battle Royales. Does that mean you don't play PUBG? You don't play any of that shit?
I don't really play any online games. For me, gaming is so people always, it's not necessarily that I do love gaming, but it's not gaming that I love. I love the art of storytelling, whether it's a good book, a good movie, a good video game, a good comic. So I overwhelmingly play single player games.
What? Oh, yeah. No, yeah, we've, like, what was the big samurai one that you played not too long ago?
Ghost of Tsushima is incredible.
So you aren't big on online multiplayer?
I did when I was younger. It's just for me now, time is, it is. You get older, time gets more limited. I would rather, if I'm gonna sit down and put 30 hours into a game, I better get a story out of it. Not just, oh, cool, I ran around and shot things.
I actually am a huge fan of the Russo brothers, but not to the point that I've seen a lot of their stuff. I need to catch up. I saw 21 Bridges and thought it was all right. I think they did Extraction on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth, if I'm not mistaken. They've got a couple of projects in the works right now, and I'm a fan of them, and I actually do like Fortnite as well. I've played it maybe 10 hours. Something like that, and I'm fucking terrible, dude. I'm terrible.
Oh, dude, I'm the worst.
I'm the person that drops in on the farthest reach of the map and just runs blind trying to find shit to stock up, like ammunition and guns and stuff. I have no idea where anything's at. People will be like, if you get dropped off at Crazy Canyon, there's some sort of fancy gun there, and I'm like, I don't know where any of this is. Bye, and I'm running, and then I get fucking sniped, and I'm out. So
I feel like it's one of those games you have to. If you really want to be good at it, you got to just dedicate all your time to it.
Yes. Patrick Stewart is playing Final Fantasy VII Remastered. I've heard good things.
I need to play it because it's free on PS Plus this month. So I downloaded it, but I haven't, touched it.
Featured Film says Disney Plus has a feature that syncs the video so that you can watch movies at the same time with friends. That's cool. I did not realize that.
No, that's really cool.
At Random Andy's channel, I do not have a console either. I do my gaming on PC and, well, I guess I got the Oculus, so that's my console. But I would love to get a PlayStation 5 one day.
Yeah, so would I. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I actually really want more than a PlayStation 5. I really want a gaming PC, mainly so I can do YouTube videos and then game on it as well.
Yeah. I wish I could talk a little bit more about that scene, but I will check it out after we get done streaming the podcast. I'm really curious because they've done some cool shit with Fortnite. I did watch the Travis Scott concert, which was neat.
I saw a clip of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
It's there's something to all of this this VR stuff and shared experiences through gaming and things like that. I think I'm surprised we didn't see more of it. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think it's especially important right now. I know for me, just VR, even though I haven't even been able to get on with you, just VR for me has been a great escapist experience when you're trapped in your house all the time.
So this is from Andy, and this is according to Variety. The headline, MoviePass teases mysterious relaunch, but it's unclear who's in charge. Have you heard about this?
No, but I loved MoviePass. I was on day one MoviePass person.
When they went to the $20 monthly subscription, right?
No, I had it for $9 a month. Way before.
I remember, okay, this is my experience with it, and obviously it changed a lot.
It changed a lot.
I think it was $30 for me when I first got it, then they dropped it down to $20, then they dropped it down to the $9.99, and then it just dropped off the earth because AMC started their $20 thing after MoviePass wasn't allowing you to screen 75% of the movies that were coming to the theater. You remember all this shit?
Yeah, so I got on it before that. So first it was $9.99, then they raised it to $30. So it used to be $9.99. You were allowed to see one movie a day for $9.99.
That's so crazy.
I would see 3 or 4 movies a week at least in the theater. I feel like that is the experience that really made my wife a movie buff, and because she was one of those people who she liked kind of anything. She'd be like, yeah, I'll go watch a blockbuster. But when you're watching, the same thing that we always say, when you're watching that many movies, you get real picky because you're just seeing so much. And so she would be like, we saw 7 movies this week in theater, and 5 of them were garbage. And that's where I feel like she really honed her, that's when she fell in love with films, directors I never would have thought, like Denis Villeneuve and that stuff. I saw her film change, her taste for films change because of MoviePass. It was actually I watched her go from, I still wouldn't say a film buff, but she's a lot more knowledgeable about film than she used to be. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, same with Victoria, because of exactly that. And the truth is, dude, if you go to 3 movies a week, you've gone to see the good one of those times,
Yes.
And then you're just watching shit because it's free. But after that, where you could go once a day, there was you can go 3 times a week, I believe.
Yes. And then it was 2 times a week.
And then it was selected movies. It just kept dropping down. I can't remember what the name of the CEO was at this point, but there was this guy that was kind of behind all of he was very, very bad. So let me see if I can pull up any information. If I'm not mistaken, it's really cryptic. It says, okay, MoviePass launched in 2017 and offered customers the option to see 1 movie per day for $9.99, as Caleb just now said. Though popular, considering the amount was less than a single movie ticket in most cities, the price proved to be economically ruinous. And in the early 2020s, Helios and Matheson Analytics, which owned MoviePass, filed for bankruptcy after running out of cash. That was the thing. Helios and Matheson was the people behind MoviePass, and they basically said the reason that they were able to sustain themselves through as a business, despite the fact that they weren't charging premiums for tickets, was data mining. Obviously, that didn't prove to be lucrative enough because they filed for bankruptcy anyways, but what I've heard let me keep with the context and then I'll say what I've heard a theory is. On Tuesday, a MoviePass website launched a countdown clock set to end on Monday the 22nd and a tagline, "The movie is about to start." It appears the MoviePass Ventures website, which is separate from the company's original MoviePass.com, was registered anonymously in February 7th, 2021. What does this portentous messaging mean? Don't ask Mitch Lowe, the former CEO of MoviePass. That's who I was wondering. He says he has no idea. It has nothing to do with me, and representatives for MoviePass did not respond to their request for comment. So, two things. Caleb, is it a scheme from the stock market people? What's the name of that fucking website where the GameStop shit happened? Is it a way for
Reddit?
them? Yeah. Is it a way for them to puff up the perceived value of the stocks for a short squeeze or whatever?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I have no idea. I hope it comes back in a meaningful way, because sign me up. You know, like, I'm there. You know, I will gladly pay money per month to go.
And then it's also possible that the whole thing was just purchased by some random person that just did it as like a troll, right?
I mean, I guess that could happen.
I guess I should go to the website real quick and just see what happens.
Yeah, to go to moviepass.com.
It's moviepassventure.com. That's the other thing that makes it a little sus.
Oh, that's weird.
I think it's down now.
1 hour ago, they might have figured out the truth. Okay.
Moviepass.ventures. We do our research on the fucking show.
Yeah, that's what people want to see. Us clicking around on keyboards and phones.
MoviePass. The movie is about to begin. 3 days and 15 hours. There is literally nothing else on the page.
Yeah, it's not even optimized for cell phones.
Contact, and then pulls up a... Let's see if I can send him an email here.
Here's what's weird to me. It's not even optimized for cell phones. It's just a...
Oh, wow.
Pick in the little red box in the corner.
Very trustworthy. I'm into it. I don't know what they're doing, man. Okay, so then on Twitter, what is MoviePass up to? See if they've done anything over there. It just, dude, Caleb, I agree with you. That it was a great deal. I would be happy if AMC Stubs just was able to be used again, but there was just such a fucking stink on MoviePass towards the end.
Did they stop AMC?
No.
Their service? Oh, okay.
No, but I can't go to the movies, I guess.
True. There's not an AMC by me, so it sucks. So I'm like, yeah, I could drive for like 45 minutes to go to an AMC, but I'm not doing that.
All right, here we go. I've got the latest tweet from MoviePass, which is all the way back in year of our Lord 2019. And it is a picture that says doppelgangers, and then it's got celebrity lookalikes, I guess. Things you've heard a million times before. Apparently, Javier Bardem looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Katy Perry looks like Zooey Deschanel, and Henry Cavill looks like some dude that looks a lot like Henry Cavill, and then Tandy Newton looks like what's her name? Fucking Zoe Saldana. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it all seems very suspect to me.
Yeah, there's something weird.
You know what's crazy is I was just thinking, because since I've moved, normally when I was looking for a house, if the housing market wasn't just insane right now and the world was different, I probably would have been like, how close is a movie theater? Because I go so much. I didn't even think to look. Like, I don't even know if there's any movie theaters by me.
That's so crazy. It's like left our vocabulary, our routine so much.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Like, had we started house shopping before the pandemic, it would have been like, oh, how close am I?
Yeah.
God, I'm such a city person. I'm like, oh, there's one, but it's 6 miles away.
Oh my God, 6 miles. What does that translate to in Denver traffic?
30 minutes or so.
Is that right?
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I'm 6 miles from my movie theater, but it would probably take me 20. 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah, maybe 20. But yeah, I was just very curious because I'm like, that's, yeah, like you said, the world has changed so much that it didn't even cross my mind until this conversation. I'm like, I don't even know if there's a movie theater in this part of town.
That's crazy. Yeah, I hope that they do all right. This next topic that came to us from Patrick Stewart might indicate that things aren't doing great at the movie theaters. This one really bummed me out, man. Several Alamo Drafthouse locations are closing down, including the one in Austin, and a lot of this directly ties to fucking Disney. Wouldn't you know it? These motherfuckers at Disney.
What a shocker.
Okay, so according to IndieWire, from the Alamo Drafthouse bankruptcy to refusing to play Disney, it's all about exhibitor survival. Cinemark won't play Raya the Last Dragon. Alamo Drafthouse is in Chapter 11, but it's not all bad news because Sony moved Peter Rabbit to May. Oh, I see you. Real cute one there, IndieWire. Oh, everything's fucked. Okay, so after a devastating 2021, exhibitors are united in their desire for survival. Their approaches, however, are not. For Alamo Drafthouse, that means Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization, closing 3 locations and selling out to a private equity investment group with Alamo founder Tim League retaining a minority stake. Caleb, can you translate that?
No, I cannot.
I think Chapter 11 is a certain kind of...
It's a bankruptcy.
It is, and I don't know what makes it Chapter 11, but they're closing 3 locations and selling out to a private equity investment group. So Tim League is retaining a minority stake in the shareholding, so he won't be able to make decisions. I mean, if he doesn't have 51% of the stakes, then he's not going to be able to make the big decisions. It's going to be done by the shareholders, which sucks because Alamo was like one of the last like beer tavern theaters there are, you know?
Yeah, no, Alamo, I mean, by my old house, there was one that we used to walk to because it was right by our house.
Really?
We'd walk to, yeah, all the time. We would see like random crap. This is when, like, before we had a kid, and we would just walk to see random stuff. We saw Bad Moms Christmas at that Alamo Drafthouse, and I was the only straight man in that entire theater.
No, can't imagine.
Interesting experience. It was all gay men and women, and they were like super into it. It was a fun movie watching experience, and I actually ended up enjoying that film, but I'm not sure if it was because of the movie or just because of the whole atmosphere.
The
so
vibe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like people were screaming, and it was just insane.
Oh, that sounds fun. I hadn't been to one of those in a long time.
Yeah, man, they're a lot of fun. It's still not my favorite way to watch a movie. Like in a theater experience. So people think I'm weird. I don't eat or drink while I'm watching a movie. Like I just don't.
Ah, man. What's
like
that about?
Theater.
You don't like the stuff?
No, I actually love it. Like I love a good soda and popcorn, but I want to be so encapsulated in the film. I don't even want to look down at popcorn. Like I don't want to get up to pee if I drink too much soda, nothing. I just want to be glued to the film from beginning to end.
I respect it. I'm a big snacker, like compulsively just munch on popcorn, but I also do it like one kernel at a time. So by the time the movie's over, my large popcorn, there's like barely a fucking dent in it. And I see people like shovel down a large popcorn and then go get more. And I'm like, oh man.
Dude, no, if I'm going to eat my fat ass, I'm going to drink like 4 Cokes in one sitting, just sitting there, the whole thing. And then no.
Like that shit's unhealthy, bro. I'll be in the fucking back chain smoking.
No, dude, it's bad.
Let's see. Okay, it looks like Patrick, 2 bankruptcies. Chapter 7, broke, liquidated, and gone. Chapter 11 is broken, but more of a debt consolidation and still in business. Thank you. Yeah, that was helpful. Hey. Let's see. I think the owner has vested interest in the PE2 PE. I'm so ignorant. Can't wait for our terrible host to talk about that story. Okay, yeah, I think this is the Disney thing. Okay, so for Cinemark, it means turning away the opportunity to play Disney's animated Raya and the Last Dragon on March 5th. Nearly a year after domestic theaters closed in response to the growing COVID-19 threat, exhibitors faced another reckoning. Now what? Their core business is showing movies for profit remains the same, but each theater or chain must also confront its own sets of strengths and weaknesses in order to move forward. That process places many of them on different paths. I want to know specifically why I think Patrick sent me a link to this. So apparently Disney's demanding way more of the share of the profit than.
Of course they are.
And this is not the first time this has happened.
How long before Disney just opens their own theaters where all they play is Disney films?
I mean, closer now than ever. If I don't know that it would be worth it for them to even invest, though, at this point.
Because of Disney Plus? Or...
Yes, exactly. I feel like they were starting to see the fruits of their labor of the streaming service and how just dominant in that fucking market they are already. And while theaters are having a difficulty getting to that occupancy. But then again, dude, 6 months from now, things could be completely different. So maybe...
What if they did a tiered system? What if they were still like exclusive to their platform, but it was that you still had to, there was like a month where they were in the theater or 2 months before they hit Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know? I could definitely picture them doing something weird like that.
Yeah. It does seem like, it seems on brand for Disney to start their own shit and go over and just do that where they wouldn't have to share any profits. And then also almost in the world of like family entertainment, events, like theme parks, you know what I mean? Kind of feels like it fits into that like family
and the
entertainment.
lobby would look like a freaking Disney store. It'd have like giant Marvel statues and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be an event too.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see that, man. I could definitely see that. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper into this. So during the Q&A at Disney's annual shareholder meeting, a Girl Scout from Peoria, Arizona, took the mic and to ask Bob Chapek, "My Girl Scout troop just finished its cookie sale, and we plan to use some of the funds to rent a theater to see Raya like we have done with other Pixar and Disney films over the years. But our local theater chain said they are not getting to show the film because they couldn't work out a deal with Walt Disney Company. So my question is, how does the Walt Disney Company decide which theaters get to show the films it releases?" Bam, dude. Harkins hit him with the fucking question there, dude. His answer was, "We agree with you that Raya is a fantastic film, and the audience score universally have been really spectacular. So we are thrilled with what our creative team has been able to come up with in Raya." What the fuck? In terms of what films play in what theaters, that's really a function of the exhibitors that own those theaters and whether or not they agree to the terms that the Walt Disney Company lays out in its terms in the economics for those particular theaters. Oh my God, what a terrible
Pretty
fucking
much take it or leave it. Shut
yes
the hell up.
Yes,
That's essentially what they said.
Deadline heard that Disney's rental terms for Raya required a 2-week minimum play. Okay, so you have to play our movie for 2 weeks with a scale that starts at 50% rental should the movie gross between 0 and 37.5, and then 51 if the domestic gross finals between 37.5 and 50. Okay, 50% if it grows until it gets to 37, and then 51 if it grosses between 37 and 50. So they're demanding 51% basically after just a short period of time. Warner Brothers has eased some of its rental terms for exhibition as they compete with the studio's streaming service. Disney's response to those exhibitors asking for a deal: if you don't like the terms, don't play the film. That's exactly what you just now said.
Yeah. That's I could tell that's what they were essentially saying before they said it.
And what choice do you have? They fucking own the industry.
Dude, it's honestly, it's downright disgusting how much they own right now.
Yep.
Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, people are like very against monopolies and corporations unless it's got a mouse for a mascot, and then it's just like nothing they do could be bad.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a mouse and there's Iron Man there. We got, you know. But like, it is Disney. I mean, there's a lot of big corporations that do some bad things. Disney's up there, man. Disney is very, they have the money, they have the capital to throw their weight around. And that's why I was so against the Fox merger. And everyone was like, oh, hey, we can finally get X-Men and MCU. I'm like, yeah, but this is just not good. You know?
Not for that. Yeah, I understand fans' enthusiasm to see those characters together, but the larger implication is a lot more substantial than all of that. Mark McKeever's in Peoria.
Oh, nice.
Peoria. That's
I
where
live by a
Caleb's
street called Peoria.
And you lived in Arizona? No, you lived in New Mexico.
No,
I apologize
in New
about
Mexico.
that.
Yeah,
Close.
they're pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yes, Mark McKeever. And now you know why a soda is $30, 100%, dude.
And Random Andy's General said, I always buy a concession at the theater. It's the best way to support them. And that's very, very true.
It is a good point.
I'm part of the problem because I don't.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Andy. And actually, that is the one thing that keeps them in business, which is it's crazy, man. But I do remember a couple years ago where this was 2017. Disney lays down the law for theaters on Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. Exhibitors say the studio's top secret terms are the most onerous they've ever seen. And let's see, there was a crazy. Oh yeah, they wanted 65% of the ticket revenue for the film. So that's like 15% higher than what's causing the problems right now.
Theater's supposed to make ends meet. You know, like it's gonna, if this keeps up, it's gonna kill it.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, it's not almost like anything. Disney is putting the squeeze on every other corporation to where they just become the direct line to consumers in all facets, which is smart. But it's hard to root for the fucking galactic empire. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Here's another thing, and I don't think this would ever happen. But what if movie theaters were like, okay, fine, screw you guys. You guys can just go your streaming route. We're not going to pay that. Would there be potentially a renaissance of smaller films because people are so craving theaters that experience that they'll be like, I just want to go see a movie. I don't care if it's the newest Marvel or Star Wars movie.
I'm going to be frank, dude. I don't think so. I think that the past 20 years have so firmly solidified Disney as a like arbiter of culture. Like they control the fucking like media, entertainment, and like just culture in general. Like so much of it starts with Disney, and then like I'm from Florida, man. I grew up loving Disney. I still love Disney's products, but I'm always very like, I'm the first one to just kind of speak out about the fact that I don't like what they are doing, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And this is wishful thinking. You're 100% right. But there's part of me is like, well, if every theater banded together and we're like, okay, fine. We're just, you know, we'll play WB, we'll play other blockbusters. You really think people would be like, oh, I'm not going to go see this other blockbuster? You don't think it would just create room for them?
I would love if that were the case. I think Disney is in a position right now where they'd be like, oh, okay, we're just going to open a theater next door. Fuck you.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Which sucks. But to your point a minute ago about would they make theaters, I think that would be a guaranteed way to watch them flex on the theater chains. But it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Patrick says, I will support the Empire if they keep making awesome Marvel movies. I get it, man. I get it. It's like, as a consumer, you want consistent quality. So from the consumer standpoint, it's just like, I don't know what I'm afraid of. Like, what's the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, like, it's easy because I'm not a Disney fan. Like, I just don't have the nostalgia for it. Like, as a kid, I never was that big of a Disney kid. So, and then Star Wars I loved, but I'm over it. Marvel, I'm over it. So it's easy for me to say, but on the reverse end, Amazon does some horrible things, and I freaking love Amazon. I buy stuff on Amazon non-stop. It's like, oh yeah, they're a horrible company, but I'll just kind of look the other way because my stuff comes in 2 days.
Yeah, Apple, similar. I mean, giant corporations like that. I just like, I guess if I were gonna say like, what is the downside to Disney owning all of that stuff? I think from the perspective of entertainment, it just means that there's a more homogenization of all of the different kind of brands that we get. Like now Star Wars and Marvel are much more similar, and Disney and Pixar are much more similar, and Pixar is similar to Star Wars, is similar to Marvel, and they've only got a select little stable of people that they pull from for all of these different things. So you see a lot of the cast members kind of, being shifted from one project to another, filmmakers, all of that stuff. So you lose a huge diversity of voices and just different stories to be told. But then I feel like there's got to be more dangerous financial ramifications of something like that.
For them being like a monopoly almost?
Yes.
There's a couple of things. One is like you said, they can control culture, which any one entity who can completely control culture to me is terrifying. I'm talking, they can control so culture is upstream of politics, right? Culture affects politics. Politics don't affect culture. I mean, they do, but politics are culture's upstream of politics. So that's just weird to me. I don't want one corporation being able to form our national collective consciousness.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Based on ideals that they are. Because diversity, you can quickly eliminate diversity of thought. And if you're controlling all, you essentially, instead of state-run propaganda, you could very much have private entity propaganda. Not saying like directly, I'm just saying you can, if Disney wants to, and they're already at that point, they can influence culture to a crazy level, which is kind of weird.
If we look at it, and I know you guys are going to love this reference because it always comes back to late night television with me. That's one thing you're going to learn. But just for example, Jimmy Kimmel is on ABC. Mm-hmm. So you can be sure that if The Bachelor is going on, they're going to have the Bachelor contestants on. If there's a new Marvel movie, they're going to have the cast of Marvel on there. And there's just a subtle nudge in the direction of, that behind the scenes, they're being paid to encourage these other properties that, like corporate synergy kind of deal. So if they're controlling entertainment and, well, I say controlling, if they're dominating entertainment and then they're able to dominate the circuit for which the entertainment is being marketed, then all of a sudden their promotional stuff is built in. They've already got an avenue to do that. And so if you're controlling the entertainment, you're controlling the spin on the entertainment, then yeah, it can get into all sorts of other prickly areas about culture outside of entertainment.
Well, and then even if we just keep it not even necessarily to the culture, you brought up a very good point. So one of the things that's interesting is I think you agree with this, you can tell if people tell you something is bad, like a movie's bad or something's good. We'll use good. We'll use a positive spin. If you have enough voices telling you, no, this is good, this is good, this is good, you do start to believe it's good. You're like, well, everyone thinks it's good. That must be good. Yep. And so, Disney has already very successfully done this. I'm not in the camp of people who are like, oh, they pay reviewers, they pay that. No, that's not. But they have culturally said, hey, this is what true, quote unquote, real movies are. This is what that. It's a very, very smart marketing thing on it. They control so much that they already kind of have them, and over the last couple of years have been like, no, this is what good entertainment is.
Yep.
And if you notice, think about what a blockbuster used to mean. There used to be very different types of blockbusters. Now, would you consider a blockbuster something with a lot of action, a lot of funny quips? They're pretty much that Disney model because they control so much of it. That's what the blockbuster has turned into. And it's interesting.
It's as if there is a algorithm, and maybe it was a thought experiment that was done more organically before algorithms like kind of started to dominate the way that entertainment was made. But like, how many Disney movies have a dead parent in them?
Yeah.
How many Marvel movies have the villain with the same powers as the hero? Like, yes, there is a formula, and they're all similar structurally, even if superficially. There's core elements are very, very similar from one to the next. And I mean, that kind of goes to that idea of just homogenizing what entertainment and what movies and blockbusters look like. But then also, like, they are making calculated moves to manipulate emotions to generate box office dollars, but at the same time, isn't that just entertainment? Like, isn't that just movies in the first place, you know?
Yeah, that's movies in the first place. I'm a firm believer of, I'm a big fan of diversity. And when I say diversity, I don't even necessarily mean like skin color diversity. When I mean diversity, I mean diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, diversity of entertainment. I just think more voices at the table is always a good thing, you know? And having one corporation dominate the voices at the table is weird. It's very, 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 it's weird. And then when you see all the ties that they've had with China and they do some, you know, it's a little alarming on a non-entertainment basis.
Let's see. Hey, Aaron Noble, shout out, man. Welcome to the conversation. Glad you stopped by to check this out. And then I know that my buddy Deso was in here a little bit ago. Daryl in the chat. I see one message. But anyways, what's up, you guys? Sorry I didn't get to say what's up a minute ago, Deso. I looked at your handle and I got intimidated. I was like, man, I don't want to say this wrong out loud. I'm scrolling back through to see if I can find it. It's like Darkhold something. It doesn't matter. But if you're still in here, what's up, dude? I saw you and I had a crisis of confidence there for a second. I was like, man, I'm going to say this wrong. I'm going to fuck it up. Like that's ever mattered. Drock Angel, DROK Angel. That's my buddy. Anyways, cool stuff, Jeremy. So I don't know, man. I find Disney's tactics to be very uncouth and very antithetical to their bullshit messaging in their movies.
Oh yeah, no, I love when Disney has like an anti-corporate message in like
fucking
half of their
constantly.
It's constant. It's that Hollywood thing though. It's
exactly what you said, dude.
Yeah, it's literally just it's rich people telling you rich people are bad. It's corporations telling you corporations are bad.
What is that about?
There's two things that it could be. It really is arrogance and holier than thou, mentality to where they really do think they're above you and they're not part of the problem. Or it's, if you point something out, it's like pointing all the fingers at everyone else to be like, oh, isn't this horrible? Isn't this horrible? Corporations are bad, while you're a big corporation.
It's annoying. It's very annoying. Dumbo was probably the most egregious example of that, where the whole thing is basically a satire against consumerism and amusement parks like Disney World. Like, it's fucking insane. It's so talking out both sides of their mouth.
No, yeah, Disney does that. A lot of their movies are very anti-capitalism, consumerism, corporation. A lot of their films, that's their message, and it's comical.
Patrick, love you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, Patrick.
Daryl, I'm here, still awake. Hope you enjoyed the album. Oh, yes, I did. I don't have the name of it in front of me right now, but it was fantastic. I'm always looking out for new music to enjoy, and Caleb, I'll send you a link to it after a little bit. It's really good, whatever the band was.
Yeah, man, I love always looking for music.
But we still support them with our hard-earned money, so we need to look in the mirror. But here we are. You know, that Mark, I think that's a really good point, and I also think that's kind of where Caleb and I diverge a little bit, and I respect that because you're right. I mean, Disney is in the position that they're in because of audiences, and audiences are in the position that we're in because Disney consistently makes good shit. So in a way, if the free market decides, as people love to say, well then Disney,
you vote with your wallet.
yeah.
You vote with your wallet. You really do.
So
that's why I have Jeremy's password to Disney Plus.
And it's correct.
Which I never use. I still haven't watched any more WandaVision.
Man, I don't know. That's it's a tough one. It's a tough dilemma that we're in right now, because I think that a lot of us are very dependent almost. Like this whole fucking house of cards that we've built on YouTube, it's so dependent on the next Marvel movie coming out so that people can watch the trailers and react to it and do weekly recap shows. And I am very much a fan that's just at conflict with the very top of, like, I think Jon Favreau is a great filmmaker. I really like the casts and all of that stuff in the movies. It's just the very, very top. There's something fucking poisonous there.
No, 100. I think you're spot on. And for me, it's like I said, it's a lot easier for me to condemn it because I'm not a fan. But like, if it were, I don't know, Ninja Turtles or Naruto or like something my favorite property, yeah, I'd be hypocrite as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I would be like, if I found out the animation studio that was doing Naruto was doing horrible, shady stuff, I would look the other way, because I still want it,
Yep.
So it's very easy for me to say to someone who doesn't like the films, super easy for me to set up here on a soapbox on my high horse and be like, yeah, just boycott this company.
King of the Hill is 34 with the 199 super chat. I'm gonna head out. Have a good one. See you Saturday. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you very much for stopping by. Shout out to Jaron Lindsay in the chat. What's up, buddy? Back at you. We are, Patrick McKay. We are all gonna still watch Falcon and Winter Soldier tomorrow. It's a good point. And
is that tomorrow?
Yep. Yeah. And until they hit me with something that is just not good, which I have been waiting for the other shoe to drop for years now. Once they hit me with something that's just not good, I will let you guys know.
You haven't seen one Marvel thing that you thought was not good?
Oh, fuck yeah. But not MCU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's not even true. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not really that good.
Just by sheer numbers. You had to have one of the movies you didn't like.
I didn't like, I hate to even say it because there's so many implications and baggage behind it, but I fucking thought Captain Marvel was very, very weak. I think it was the only one that
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it.
I think
I know one of the Thors people hated, Dark World or whatever.
Dark World is not very good, but it's still not bad either. I think that's just the thing is they're safe. They know like how to keep it light and enjoyable even when it's not great. Jaron, we're going to be watching Snyder Cut tomorrow night, and then we're going to be discussing it on Saturday morning at 10 p.m. CST right here on the YouTube channel. So if you want to be a part of that.
CST.
AM, yes, correct. And we're done. It's 8:02 p.m. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. Caleb, as always, man, it's a pleasure.
Now I needed to make a debate of whether or not I stay up all night watching a 4-hour movie.
I don't see you doing it, old man.
I don't know, man. Like that's a long commitment.
It's a long commitment. Yeah. I would love to get on right now and like right when we get off and watch some of it. But also I'm like, I don't know. I can save it all for tomorrow evening. Me and Victoria already have a big date planned. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think my wife would be okay if I canceled our 4-hour comic book movie day.
Yeah, well, I'm not giving her that option. Thank you guys very much for stopping by to check out this episode of the Movies Are Terrible live podcast right here on the Movies Are Terrible YouTube channel or anywhere that podcasts are available. I'm Jeremy, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to stay up to date with all of the terrible content, all you got to do is subscribe, click the bell to enable notifications, and then cross your fingers that those notifications come through because I think they're trying to suppress us, man. I think they're trying to hold us down. So stick it to the man. Click us like, make sure you're subscribed, and until next time, and on behalf of both of us, be terrible. Peace. And we are...